Trump by becoming rich.
Take all your money, buy Bitcoin.
You can wake up every morning and say GM.
GM. GM, 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 GM. So, today is Thursday. And looking at daily levels here, looking at BTC, made its way up, touched off the highs overnight. Obviously a relatively low impulse, low volume move, but the fact Bitcoin's just drifting higher is positive in one sense, although it depends how the next pullback goes. And I was mentioning yesterday, where was it? That, where do I have the, there we go. We're showing a bunch of different charts and different time frames, showing BTC. If we look at them right now, you can see the daily chart was trying to compress and consolidate through the bands. 12-hour chart is above the bands and into the 50. The 6 and the 4 have both flipped green. So really what matters next is the consolidation. It would be better if it pulls back rather than impulsing higher, unless there was a large impulse. So if there was a bigger impulse move that moved up and held, that would indicate, you know, gapping through all of this would be a good move. Let me see here. Get this other chart up. There we go. Moving up through all of this and closing above and consolidating up here would be good for immediate continuation. Otherwise, you're seeing the market just kind of grind through resistance. And as of the open today, it pumped straight off the daily open with no lower wick. So basically right on the open, we pushed straight up, took out the highs. Going in today to PPI, which is the other inflation measure. So there's more data coming out today. Probably not going to have as much relevance to the market, I wouldn't say. CPI is usually more important. Yesterday we had CPI, initially a dump, market absorbed the dump, closed strong again. So that's now 3 days in a row. Monday, market tried the dump on the New York session, pumped through. Tuesday, market tried to dump the New York session, pumped through. More of a consolidation, but we then took out the lows overnight. Market tried to dump on the New York session, pumped through. So I said this on the stream yesterday, the market appears to be not reacting as strongly to news, which is good. If you want, if you want a market to rise and continue to rally, the market needs to stop caring essentially about these data numbers so much. And this is a good start. If you're starting to see news that should be bad and the market doesn't react to the downside, that's a good sign. So still obviously early. Bitcoin's pushing right up into the pivot level, which is around here where this alert is set, as you can see. So that's an important level to flip. Seems pretty strong through it though. I would say that there's a decent chance it should continue to push higher from here. As we see, ETH. Still a lot of work for ETH to do to regain any kind of bullish structure. Because really, I mean, if ETH goes up to here, that's just a perfect place for another lower high, right? So what would you actually want to see from ETH? Really, it would have to form some kind of a actual base where it moves up, moves sideways, and then is able to rally off that. I think it's going to have to confirm this as a low a couple more times rather than just running away from it, unless it's able to break and hold above the pre-ETF level. So if you do get a strong rally straight up, that could be a way that ETH could go towards all-time high. Of course, you know, that still seems pretty far away at the moment. Solana has continued to hold, but you'll notice that Solana bounces off this 125 level are getting shallower. So let me see here. First time it came down, bounced to here, back for retest, moved up towards the highs, came back, same thing, bounced, retest, moved to the highs, flushed down, took out all the stops, stronger bounce, double top on this, bounce here, back down. And since then, since this last move down, it's had probably its most muted reaction. So there's clearly not as much demand waiting to buy Solana at these prices. Now, as long as it doesn't go down, that could be fine. Maybe it's just going to grind higher, a bit of a disbelief rally where it doesn't look good or make people want to buy, and then that's the actual rally beginning. That would be much better, just in general, because these type of fast moves, they tend to induce FOMO. When it bounces very hard off a level, you've got a few days or a couple of weeks where people are like, oh shit, did I miss the bottom again? Did I miss the bottom again? Did I miss the bottom again? So the sort of slow grind higher is not a bad thing, especially if it's accompanied by bad news, but the market just keeps moving and moving and moving. Total 3, we'll check in on, as altcoins are trying their best to bottom out as well. And decent potential here for some kind of a reversal, at least it should be in theory. We have had a sweep lower, it's in the process of a retest. I would guess that if it pushes up higher, people probably will start to pile in. I mean, I think longs are already starting to come in. There's still a lot of expectation of alts every time there's a potential move. People seem to be just getting back in. So you might see a second sweep of that area if this is going to form as a you know, a rounded out bottom or a large under over. Bands go green yet? Probably close. Yeah, it's above them. Altcoins. I'm going to do altcoin requests today. So 4 p.m. UTC, altcoin request stream. Be there for that. Pepe. Nothing much, you know, sort of in between two phases. With, yeah, same kind of thing. Moved up, it's trying to reject lower. There's really just not much, there's not a whole lot of real impulse here. Stocks had a pretty good reversal from their own levels. Depends now if it's able to hold these bands and push towards the highs again. Nasdaq, slightly weaker. Band still red on the Nasdaq. Dollar trying to reverse and rally. Gold staying up near all-time highs. Bitcoin dominance continues to hold up near the highs. And what else? So I would say overall, Sui's